The human diplomat stepped off the landing platform, his polished shoes making soft taps against the stone floor. Around him, the insected reptilian Valkyrie watched in stiff silence. Their massive, armored bodies barely moved, but their mandibles clicked in an anxious rhythm. James Carter adjusted his suit and approached the delegation waiting for him. The Grand Chancellor stood at the center, his scaled hands clasped in an unreadable expression. Valkyrie warriors flanked him, their weapons holstered, but their posture screamed ready. "Ambassador Carter," the Chancellor said, his voice a low, reverberating growl. "We welcome you to Velner 6. Carter gave a polite nod. "An honor. I look forward to productive discussions." The Chancellor hesitated. His compound eyes flicked to Carter's empty hands. No sidearm. No bodyguards. No exosuit. Just a man in a business suit, standing completely vulnerable. A murmur rippled through the Valkyrie ranks. One advisor whispered in their guttural tongue, assuming Carter wouldn't understand. "By the void, he doesn't even need weapons." Carter's brow furrowed. That was an odd reaction. He'd read their cultural briefings. Valkyrie respected strength, but this felt different. They weren't just wary. They were afraid. The Chancellor regained composure. "Come. The Council awaits." The walk through the towering halls was quiet, too quiet. Carter was used to alien negotiations, the mix of curiosity and skepticism. This was something else. The guards at every entrance tensed when he passed. One nearly reached for his weapon before thinking better of it. Carter kept his expression neutral. He had no idea why they were acting like this, but he wasn't about to show weakness. Inside the council chamber, towering Valkyrie elders sat in a semicircle, their scales catching the dim light. The Grand Chancellor took his place and motioned for Carter to sit. He did. More murmurs. The whispering wasn't hard to catch. "He's completely defenseless. Or he believes he doesn't need to be armed. What kind of creature walks into the den of another species without weapons?" Carter exhaled slowly. He'd have to address this sooner or later. "Let's begin," he said, folding his hands on the table. The Chancellor nodded stiffly. "Yes. Let us begin." From the upper balcony, a hidden figure watched, mandibles clicking in calculation. The assassin tightened his grip on the plasma dagger. This thing, this human, was too dangerous to live. Tonight, he would die. Darkness settled over the diplomat's quarters, the faint hum of alien machinery the only sound. James Carter sat at the room's sleek, curved table, scrolling through his data tablet. The Valkyrie negotiations had been tense, but nothing he couldn't handle. What puzzled him was their fear. He rubbed his temple. Maybe it was just cultural misunderstanding. Maybe. The air shifted. A whisper of movement, too precise, too deliberate. Carter's muscles tensed. He didn't react immediately, didn't look up. Instead, he waited. The attack came fast. A shadow lunged from the ceiling, plasma dagger flashing. No hesitation, no warning. A strike meant to kill in one clean motion. Carter moved. Instinct, training, survival, everything happened in a heartbeat. He sidestepped, caught the assassin's wrist, twisted. Bone cracked. The dagger clattered to the floor. The attacker snarled, lashing out with his free hand. Carter drove a sharp elbow into his mandibles, sending him sprawling. The doors slammed open. Valkyrie guards flooded in, weapons drawn. Their eyes locked onto the scene, Carter standing over the writhing assassin, perfectly unharmed. Silence. The Chancellor stepped forward, gaze flicking from the human to the downed attacker. "You neutralized him?" Carter exhaled, releasing the assassin's limp wrist. "He tried to kill me." The guards didn't move. Their expressions weren't ones of anger or concern. They were horrified. The assassin wheezed, his broken arm twitching. "It's true," he rasped. "He doesn't need weapons." A ripple of unease spread through the room. The Chancellor's voice was barely above a whisper. "By the void, what are you?" Carter straightened, dusting off his sleeves. "A diplomat." No one believed him. The High Council chamber was in chaos. Voices overlapped in hissing, guttural tones, the Valkyrie elders divided between two choices: terminate negotiations or secure an alliance before it was too late. "He is a walking extinction event," one counselor snarled. "Did you see how he moved? How easily he crushed a trained assassin?" Another elder, mandibles clicking in thought, countered. "And what if we make him our ally? If a single unarmed human can do that, what could an army of them do?" The room fell silent. That thought had crossed every mind. The Grand Chancellor stood, the weight of the decision pressing down on him. His compound eyes studied Carter, who sat calmly at the negotiation table, hands folded, waiting. He had made no threats, no demands. He had barely even raised his voice. And yet, the Valkyrie felt cornered, like prey under a predator's gaze. Carter finally spoke. "You're afraid of me." No one denied it. He leaned forward slightly. "You shouldn't be." Another silence. Unbearable. "I was attacked," Carter continued. "I defended myself. That's all." The Chancellor's claws tightened against the stone table. "But you—" "I could have killed him," Carter interrupted. "I didn't." That fact lingered, undeniable. A younger counselor hesitated before speaking. Perhaps that is the most dangerous thing of all." More murmurs. A conclusion forming. The Grand Chancellor exhaled slowly. "We will not make humanity our enemy." Another pause. "We will make them our strongest ally." The treaty was signed under the weight of silent tension. Valkyrie officials moved with careful precision, as if one wrong gesture might provoke the human ambassador into revealing just how much more he was capable of. James Carter met every glance with an even, unreadable gaze. He knew what they saw now. Not a diplomat, not just a representative of his species, a warning. The Grand Chancellor's claws clicked against the datapad as he finalized the agreement. "This pact ensures mutual cooperation between our species," he said slowly, measured. "Trade, knowledge exchange, and military non-aggression." Carter inclined his head. "A partnership." The Chancellor nodded stiffly. "Yes." The unspoken truth lay heavy in the room. The Valkyrie hadn't signed out of trust. They had signed out of fear. But Carter also saw something else behind their wary stares: relief. They had chosen correctly. The ceremony concluded, but whispers still followed Carter as he left the chamber. Soldiers and officials kept their distance, their postures half respectful, half terrified. No one wanted to stand too close. At the shuttle bay, the younger counselor from before approached him, shifting uneasily. "The Chancellor was right," he said at last. "We could not afford to make you our enemy." Carter studied him for a moment before answering. "You never had to." The counselor hesitated, then nodded. "Safe travels, Ambassador." As Carter stepped onto the ship, he knew the Valkyrie would never see humans the same way again. And neither would the rest of the galaxy.